Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Charlie Pankey for Sierra Magazine again. Thank you for joining us at our Sierra Rec Now podcast. I hope the Sierra is within your sights today, that you're planning a trip to Lake Tahoe, because today we are excited to bring you two special guests that spend their time on the water as much as possible in the beautiful area of Lake Tahoe. I have Isabella and Sean Brown with us, the owners and captains, if you will, at Sail Tahoe Blue. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Right.
How you guys doing today?
We're doing well. How are you,
Thanks for
Charlie?
having
Good,
us.
good. Are you guys in Tahoe today, or I can see trying to see in the background? So that's home.
Yeah,
basically.
those are definitely pine trees in the background. We're here at our home in
Very
South.
good. So I'm killing you with this bluebird sky that you're not out on the water. Is that what I'm saying hearing?
Well, we do have captains and crew out on the water today, hosting
Oh.
visitors to Lake Tahoe. So
Well, there you go. I didn't know that also. So it's more than just you as the captains.
it is, yeah. Now we're up to a point where we have, I think, 4 captains and 6 deckhands, and our boat goes out as much as 4 times a day on a busy Tahoe summer day.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I have to admit, I've only been on Lake Tahoe myself one time fishing, so I haven't actually been around the shores and stuff. But I don't go on the boat very often because my
We'll have
wife
to
doesn't
remember
like
that.
boats, right? I didn't even remember that. My wife doesn't like boats, so I haven't had the opportunity so much. But so I was wondering today, as we wanted to talk about sailing and being on Lake Tahoe, if maybe you guys could just kind of like tell us what it is like to sail on, this large lake in California, right? This massive body of water where you seem like you'd be on water for a half hour before you reach the other side, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Lake Tahoe is an absolutely spectacular lake. And in our typical 2-hour trip, we'll only cover about a quarter of the area because it is so large. It's 22 by 12 miles roughly. And yeah, it's absolutely a beautiful place to sail. We have crystal clear blue waters here, tall, beautiful snow-capped mountains. And yeah, it's absolutely spectacular.
I think I just read that the depth of visibility this year is almost a record. It's quite
absolutely. I think the last couple of years after our last big winter, the depth went up. I don't know what it is. I think it's close to 100 plus feet.
Yeah, something like that too. 112 feet or something like that. So it seems to be sticking in my head, right? So that's got to be pretty crazy. Where do you guys actually launch out of?
Yeah, so we operate out of Ski Run Marina, which is in the South Shore of Lake Tahoe.
South Shore. Okay, very good. So when you guys are out on the water, like I don't even know the size of your boat. Like how many people can you get on your boat?
Yeah, so legally we can carry 25, which we think is way too many. So we take out not more than 14 passengers, which actually creates a really cool, intimate sailing experience, unlike most of the other charter boats on Lake Tahoe.
That's fantastic. Now,
our boat's 40 feet long.
40 feet long. Very good. And where did you guys fall into love with sailing? Where's the sailing life come from? Because Tahoe, I don't really naturally think of Tahoe as a sailing lake instantly. So it's like, where's that come from?
Let me take that one.
Yeah, take that one.
Well, we've both always been drawn to the water. We grew up near the coast, near Santa Cruz, California, and we both were on sailboats at a very young age. So we kind of just have sailing in our blood. It's very intuitive for us. But we did not grow up sailing on a lake. We grew up sailing in the ocean, and we never thought that we would be lake sailors. I think both of our parents have actually given us a hard time about that over the years. But we've always been in love with Tahoe, and we would come up here in all of our free time. And we noticed that there's such a big boating scene on Lake Tahoe, and it seemed like there was kind of a need for more sailors. Like there's a bit of a void. So, we kind of just like meshed our passions, and we both have a shared passion for being on the water and for sailing. And so we knew we wanted to do something in that realm. And once we kind of realized that there was this kind of like open opportunity here in Tahoe, we decided to get after it.
That's fantastic. And are you guys the only, not to bring in competitors, are you guys the only like chartered sailing experience on Tahoe?
So we are the only Coast Guard regulated sailing charter in South Lake Tahoe. There's also the Windsong, but they don't operate as frequently as we do.
Gotcha.
And then there's a couple others on other parts of the lake.
Tahoe Sailing Charters in North Lake Tahoe out of Tahoe City. They also run a great sailing charter operation. But obviously they're 45 minutes to an hour away from us. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you guys would kind of cater that South Shore audience.
Exactly.
Exactly. I would
But I
assume
think
that.
there's
Oh, go ahead.
there's always opportunity for more here on the lake. It seems
Yeah.
like I don't think there could be like there's no cap for the amount of boat charters that exist on Lake Tahoe. I think there's just such a need.
I can only imagine that by, like things like the golf tournament that happens at South Shore and the number of boats are on the water. It's like there's probably an unlimited opportunity for getting a boat on the water almost. So
absolutely.
Is it my assumption then that most people are wanting to get to Emerald Bay? Is that the
everybody wants to go to Emerald Bay, and that's actually something that separates us as well as we don't guarantee that we're going to Emerald Bay, but we can guarantee that it's going to be a beautiful sailboat ride in Lake Tahoe. And the reason for that is because winds vary. Sometimes we have a north, sometimes we have a west. On the rare occasion, we have an east wind like today. And so, our route is always changing. Sometimes we'll make it into Emerald Bay, but we never say for sure we're going to.
That's an interesting fact that, the sailing, obviously you are powered by the winds and direction. So that's got to add a lot of adventure to the whole idea of a cruise, right? Is that
it does.
You can go on it multiple times and not have the same experience almost.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. It requires a lot of
trips are the same.
Yeah. No two trips are the same. It requires a lot of creative thinking on how to best make the experience, most worthwhile and calmest and most enjoyable to our guests based on what the winds kind of have in store for us on each day.
Do you get a lot of guests that are like first-time sailors that are experiencing it, or is it a lot of people who just sailing's in their blood too, and they're just excited to have it?
We get a mixture. We get a lot of really aggressive San Francisco Bay Area type sailors that come up here, and they want it to be as extreme as possible. Okay. And then we get a lot of folks from other parts of the country that maybe don't have, water recreation-based activities like we do here in California. And it's their first experience. And it's really neat to show somebody the beauty of sailing for their first time in such a beautiful environment and show them, hey, we can cruise along on the water here without the sound of a combustion engine. And basically, as soon as you get on the boat, you've arrived at your destination. So it's a pretty cool thing to share with people.
That kind of leads into my next question there for you guys. I was thinking about it, going, maybe you're the best people to kind of share verbally what sailing's like, right? Like, what is it like to sail on the clearest lake in the Sierra type thing? This big, massive, lovable lake. What's it like to be on a sailboat?
Right. Well, sailing is very different than powerboating. I feel like whenever I'm on a powerboat, there's a really loud engine, and you're just trying to get to your destination so that you can shut the engine off to then enjoy the peacefulness of that environment. Whereas on a sailboat, as soon as you arrive and the engine turns off is when the destination sort of begins, and you're traveling along in a silent manner. Maybe you have light tunes playing in the background and a glass of wine in hand. And I find it to be a much more positive experience than basically listening to the loud roar of a combustion engine.
Yeah, right. I would think that's got to be pretty awesome. And glass of wine, you got me there. It's like back and
get more in tune with nature too. We always remind our guests like Mother Nature's in charge, and she's kind of in control of the direction we're heading and how fast we get there. So it's really nice to just kind of disconnect and slow down for a bit on the boat.
Is it an active experience for your guests too? I mean, do guests get to be involved in all, or is it really kind of a luxury experience where you really just kind of just unhook and
Yeah. So first and foremost, it's a luxury experience. We take care of everything. And if guests want to get involved, we're happy to create an opportunity for them to get involved, whether it's helping raise a sail or teaching them how to steer the boat and manage, the wind and different things of that nature. So it's kind of a choose your own adventure sort of experience.
That's a lot of fun. And you said you're running multiple trips a day right now. So how long is a trip typically for like a basic sail out?
2 hours.
Okay.
And then so we do public cruises, which are each 2 hours. And then if people want to book a private, we could do like an Emerald Bay cruise that we typically recommend about 3 hours just to get there and like enjoy the sail around the bay and then come back.
Right.
Public cruises are 2, and then private charters are choose your own adventure as long as you want.
Gotcha. So let's just take Emerald Bay. We know the beautiful waters of Emerald Bay. For you two, how long have you been on Lake Tahoe then? How many years now?
This is our 5th year in business. And we've been living here for
closer to 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay. But 5 years on the water, sailing your own boat and doing that. So there's got to be like your favorite little cove or favorite spot to see a certain peak, or like, is there a favorite section of Tahoe? Is like, that's my area.
I love the west shore of Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
I think the mountains are absolutely beautiful, and it seems like the wind is always in our favor, and the waters are always a bit smoother on the west shore. And so, I personally really like to be on the west shore.
Like that area.
I'll have to agree.
Yeah, I know the water. If you go north of Emerald Bay along like the Rubicon trails, that water is a different color of blue. That's so special, right there. It's like, wow,
it's like the deepest, one of the deepest.
Yeah, it's the deepest shoreline for sure. So you can basically follow the same contour of the mountains there.
You can see like this very dramatic drop off of the cliff, and then just straight down, and there's fun like cliff jumping over there, and the water over there is just stunning.
Yeah, pretty
well
spectacular.
over 1,000 feet deep. So
that's very cool. When your guests are out on the water, kind of walk me through that. So I buy a ticket, spouse come up, and we're getting on the boat. Walk me through what I should expect for a 2 hour. What happens?
So you buy a ticket, you meet us at Ski Run Marina. We have a blue tent with our company signage on it. That's our meeting point. From there, we introduce the captains and crew. The captains and crew walk you down to the main pier at Ski Run Marina. We hop on board. We go over some safety things. We go over the beer and wine list. Like I said earlier, we serve local beer and wine. We work with Alibi Ale Works for years, which is cool that we're working with a local brewery here in town. And from there, we get out on the water, and based on what the wind is doing, we'll kind of determine where we head on that experience, whether we go up the East Shore to Cave Rock and back, or over to the mouth of Emerald Bay, or maybe Taylor Creek and back. And we've got obviously drinks on board, nice tunes on board that all can enjoy, and really, really welcoming and friendly staff that are happy to fill tourists in on all the local things that there is to know about Lake Tahoe's geography and sailing.
Is there any time during a tour or visit that people will actually have a chance to like leave the boat? Do people go swimming, or do you guys? Is that frowned upon? Or
so on private charters, we do a lot of like bachelorette parties, things like that. And it seems like there's always somebody that wants to get in the water on a private trip. And so, on private charters, we're happy to set the anchor in a bay somewhere and let people go for a swim
and have a little bit of fun. Very cool.
Absolutely.
Very good. Well, we are obviously an adventure magazine. You and I have spoken before. I've done a little article on you guys. I'm a little interested in your Tahoe experience as well as you as individuals and couple. If you've seen all the mountain views, is there other things in Tahoe that you two just love doing when you're not sailing?
Absolutely.
I didn't ask you this question ahead of time, so
we love mountain biking. We do a lot of wake surfing, trail running, some outdoor climbing. Like really, I mean, what's so epic about Tahoe is just a massive playground. So there's just you can do all of the things, all of the activities, and I still feel like we've lived here for 7 years, but there's still so much more to explore just in the basin. I mean, we like on our days off, we love to just take our dog and go for a long bike ride, maybe out to Star Lake or something. And
there you go.
We get a little sunset surf session.
There you go. So that would be your trifecta, right? That would be your Tahoe trifecta. Mountain bike, a little surf, and a little sail, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's a good trifecta.
Yeah, not bad.
If you're listening to the thing and she said Star Lake and you go, where's Star Lake at? That is one of the toughest climbs out of South Lake Tahoe up to.
It is. It is. We like that one.
It's on the south side of Heavenly. Yeah. But that's what I never tell people to go to Star Lake. It's like going, that's not what you're looking for. I know it's not what you're looking for.
Usually.
That's not it's not an entry level hike.
It's a beautiful place, but
no, it is.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of smaller, like more accessible lakes that you can get to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Most definitely. Very cool. And you mentioned Ale Works already. When your guests are done with the cruise experience, you've got cheese and wine, and you've wined and dined them. They're always going to ask you, where should I do next, right? What's the place to go eat? What if I'm going out on a sunset cruise with you and I come home and I want to go eat, where would you guys tell people to go?
As it pertains to beer, there's a really
first things first.
Yeah, there's a really awesome place to go grab a pint after sailing with us, and that's called the Hangar here in South Lake Tahoe. They typically have 20 plus beers on tap. They work with local breweries across Northern California, and they have a really, really awesome establishment here in the heart of South Lake Tahoe. And so that's a great place to go and grab a beer with your friends, maybe after
Food
sailing.
trucks, live music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, where's your favorite food truck at? What's the food truck scene in South Tahoe right now?
They always rotate it out. I
Yeah.
think they had like a taco truck last time we were there. That was really
Nice.
good. Then they also have the pizza like bus that
Mhm.
they do like fresh made pizzas in this like
Oh, sweet.
bus, which is really cool. Yeah. But they're always rotating it out. But yeah, the hangar's great if you're looking for something, like more of like a couples dining experience. Like we really love Maggie's.
Yeah. So
out of Desolation Hotel.
yeah, that's a fun place to go grab a bite. Really high quality food, and you're not paying crazy lakefront prices like you might in other places. And so that's a really fun place. Yeah. So Maggie's at Desolation. That's a fun date night spot for us to go to.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So we're going back to sailing real quick, and thank you for that tip. I'll get back to some more personal questions here
Yeah,
at the end here. Going back to sailing real quick. In your opinion, better to catch a morning sail for wind in Tahoe area, an evening sail for sunset? What's kind of the cream of the crop of sailing?
Yeah, so different times of day offer different sailing experiences. So in the morning, things are definitely calmer and quieter. So if maybe you have young kids and you want to go, expose them to sailing, but you want it to be calm and controlled, I would recommend taking kids out in the early morning, especially little kids. In the afternoon is when the wind comes up. So if you're looking for a more gung-ho, sporty sailing experience with stronger breeze, we recommend coming out in the afternoon around 1:30 or 2 p.m. And then if you're looking for a more adult sort of atmosphere with drinks, and once again, a bit calmer, but maybe not as calm as the morning, we recommend coming out for the sunset experience.
Very cool. I would think that a sunset cruise on Lake Tahoe, glass of wine, would be one of those experiences you wouldn't forget.
It's pretty magical.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you've seen a Tahoe sunset, you know what we're talking about. It's
just absolutely
beautiful. And to experience it from the water is just like a whole nother.
The sherbet orange glow of the Tahoe sunset, right? That's pretty special. But is there a time that you guys are in the water now, right? So we're in spring. How long will your season typically go? Are you done in October, November?
Typically, we try to go through the second week of October. That's I think as far as we've pushed it in the past. It's, as you know, it's all dependent on the weather. It could be gorgeous in October. It could be snowing in October. So it really just depends on what the weather's doing and what the lake level's doing.
So you're telling me that sailing in a snow jacket, gloves, and mittens is as much fun as the bathing suit? Is what you're saying?
I mean, choose your own adventure, right? Like, depends what you're going for. We've done both. I'd say both are very fun, but yeah, it just depends what you're going for.
Very cool. Now, you both mentioned that you like to wakeboard as well. Do you guys have a wakeboard boat at all, too, or is that just something that you have to do?
Yeah, wake surfing. So we work with some friends, Tahoe Surf Company, and we actually help coach wake surfing to tourists that want to come here and learn how to wake surf behind a nautique surf boat. And so we do a lot of that just as a passion and also
that's a growing sport on Lake Tahoe.
It is. Yeah. And it's much more low impact than wakeboarding. It's much more attainable to people of all ages.
Okay. Well, yeah, you know what? I don't understand that there's a wakeboarding and there's wake surfing. And I guess I probably am thinking of wake surfing because I see the people do it all the time where they get on the wake and just not connected to a rope or anything, right? They're just
exactly. You get out, drop the rope, and surf along like you would in the ocean. So
very cool. When if you think back, you guys have been in business 5 years. What have you learned about Lake Tahoe that maybe you didn't know ahead of time that you think maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but there's got to be things you've picked up that were different than ocean sailing. They go, Lake Tahoe is unique because of this, or lake sailing is unique this way.
I mean, I would say just how variable the seasons can be.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've had a snowy May where we couldn't get the boat in the water because the boat was buried in snow. And then we've had a May where we were operating, May 1st, May 5th with sunshine and blue skies. And then we've had, everything in between throughout the entire summer. And I think just, the variability of what the mountain climate is like And also just even throughout the day, like we could have a beautiful sunny day and then all of a sudden the clouds come over the east side of the lake and it's raining and it's super windy. And so it definitely makes our job super exciting. And yeah, I think that was like that was a learning curve for us, just kind of like learning to anticipate Tahoe's many seasons.
Yeah, it seems like here in Tahoe, the wind direction switches by, I don't know, 15 to 20 degrees every half hour. In the ocean, you can set your sails and sail for 4 days straight without having to change a thing. So that is definitely makes sailing interesting here in the mountain environment. And it's also pretty cool because we're constantly adjusting the sails, adjusting our direction. So for customers that are visiting and that want to see what sailing looks like, there's, we're a really good case study to see.
A good experience that way.
Yeah.
I'll say one more thing as well is the lake level is something that changes significantly year over year. And so as a sailboat, like we draw more than other boats, like the depth of the boat goes beneath the surface of the water than others. So that's just been something that has been an exciting challenge for us to overcome.
We have those big rocks under the water. People they see those rocks and they don't realize how big those rocks really are.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And even the beaches, it gets very shallow. So that's
every year the lake level is different, and that alters basically our course and our plan of action for sort of how we get people out on the water. So.
Yeah, and luckily this year we're almost it's almost full, right? We're within.
I think it's about as full as it goes. I think it's the first in my lifetime. So.
Yeah,
which is very interesting, right? To think of lake levels going, how can it be over full? But at some point it's going to flow out someplace, right?
Right.
I mean, in the ocean we deal with tides, right? But here we don't have tides, but we have like these massive discrepancies in the depth of the water, like season over season, and even throughout the season it changes pretty drastically. So
when you take the boat off the water here, do you guys head to the coast and sail in the ocean, or do you have an off-season ski program that you run? Or
I mean, we love snowboarding, so last winter was really fun. We didn't leave much. This winter we headed to the coast. We did some surfing and sailing down near Santa Barbara area. We love to hang out down there.
And you're from the coastal community, so you like that life there. So that's
do.
fantastic. I'd say I think what else do people need to know about sailing? Oh, like you're going right now. Like, how far out do I need to reserve to get on the sailboat now?
Yeah, during sort of the peak of summer, so June, July, August. It's definitely good to give us a call a couple of weeks before your trip if you can. We have a limited capacity. We carry 14 guests, a few times a day. So definitely reach out to us a couple of weeks in advance if you want to come out. We'll fill you in on sort of the best time of day that might make sense for you and your family or friends to come out and be on the water with us. So yeah, definitely some advance is good.
Very good. And then for your private tours and for your more event things, I imagine the best way to just get a hold of the website and you guys customize that for each thing, or is there a certain package that you deliver?
You can book directly through the website, and people do that. But if you're booking, if it's a special occasion, you want catering, you want to do like an Emerald Bay cruise, we always recommend just giving us a call. Sean or I will answer, or any number of our office staff, and we'll get you all settled. But yeah, website or our phone number.
That's fantastic. And then you kind of said this earlier, and I think I caught it. How many other staff and captains do you have, for example?
Yeah, I think our overall team, including us, is about 8 now.
8, okay.
Yeah.
And then are they all Coast Guard certified? You said you're the Coast Guard certified charter.
Right. So we all have to follow the U.S. Coast Guard sort of rules, and our captains are all Coast Guard certified with licensure, obviously, to allow them to take 6 or more passengers on a 25-ton or less boat. So
I don't know if many people know that about Lake Tahoe. That is a big enough body of water that the Coast Guard actually has a boat that operates on the lake.
They do, yeah. And I believe
cool.
their station, I believe, is in Lake Forest, which is on the north side of the lake.
Okay.
And so it's rare that they come down as far as us. And what's really cool is we have so many qualified captains on this lake that when there are ever emergency situations that take place on the lake, we all work together. We all use Channel 16, and if something goes wrong, we all will kind of locate your.
That's neat to know.
Yeah, yeah. We'll
That's
all
really
kind of
cool.
work together, and so even when the Coast Guard isn't around, we all work as a team here. So
That's fantastic. No, that the community works together. I mean, obviously, you've already shared businesses that are competing at the same dollar in the lake. So I see you guys are a pretty close community up there. It's pretty awesome.
we sure
That
are.
way.
The boating community is tight.
It's a pretty tight group. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's fantastic. So you guys you believe it or not, we're already kind of running up on our half hour of our program here.
Okay.
I really do appreciate you guys coming on. I ask all my guests the same 3 questions that close our program out. It's kind of my fun way of kind of bringing this all together. It's 2 of you, so I would welcome you guys to answer these individually here if you don't mind, and we can kind of go from there. Okay, so the first question I always ask, I'm assuming you're pretty adventurous and that your bags are probably packed for adventure someplace, right? So let's say your bag is packed today and you can go anywhere in the Sierra. I'll open it up to you guys for California because I know how much you guys love the coast, okay? Where are you going and what are you doing?
Ooh, I'll take this one.
Yeah,
if you open it up to all of California, my answer is a bit different. Yeah. I would say Big Sur. I'd say we're throwing the surfboards in the car, maybe our bikes, maybe we'll hit Santa Cruz on the way down, but I just love Big Sur. It's stunning.
Absolutely.
Magical place.
Absolutely. For here, I'll use going to work for Sail Tahoe Blue as a typical case study. I love going to work. Love what I do. But we have pretty dynamic weather here in Lake Tahoe, as Isabella said before. So I will bring everything from shoes, flip-flops, wool socks.
Where would you
Oh, where would I go? Oh, I guess. Well, I was talking about going to work here and enjoying.
You're going to Tahoe. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to Tahoe.
You're going to work.
I'm going to work. But yeah, I mean, for lake adventures here at home where we live and love to recreate. I mean, I have everything from board shorts and flip flops and sunglasses to Gore-Tex, wind and waterproof wear, because we never know what the day can throw at us here in the
definitely can. So Sean, I'm going to pick on that one a little bit. Let's say you can't get on the boat today. What beach you going to?
Oh, well, with the east wind today, I would head to a beach on the east side of the lake because it's going to be probably the warmest. So,
there you go. East shore for east wind. I like that.
West shore for west wind.
Yeah.
There you go. I did not know that for local myself. I wouldn't have even thought about the winds and which beach you go to.
That's a
only
good
here on Sierra Rec Now podcast. All right. So next question. Long day of on the boat. You've been working in the office, on the boat, whatever, and it's time for your favorite meal. Where are you going for your favorite meal, and what are you eating?
So after a long day sailing, we have an amazing Argentinian style empanada restaurant at Ski Run Marina. And it's safe to say that all of our captains and crew love to go there for a couple empanadas after a long day of work.
Empanada. You're the first empanadas I've had. That's pretty good. I like that.
They're really good.
Really good.
I would say the house rub tri-tip from Overland's.
Now you're talking my love.
Yeah, pick up a tri-tip, go home, fire up the grill.
Yeah. At Overland's, that we said?
Yeah, it's Overland's Meat and Fish Market.
Yeah.
Here in South Lake, but
South Lake Tahoe. That's fantastic.
We're big supporters of their tri-tip, their house rub tri-tip.
I love that. Okay, so let's talk gear bags real quick. Okay, everybody that's an adventure junkie, you can go whatever sport you want. What piece of gear are you never leaving home without?
You take that one.
Well, probably a Gore-Tex shell. Whether it's wind or getting splashed on the boat or a potential for a hailstorm here in Lake Tahoe in the summer, I've always got a Gore-Tex shell with me.
All right, Gore-Tex shell it is.
That's a really tough question because I don't leave the house without a pair of sunnies and a hat ever.
There you go.
Yeah, I would say that, or a shell, or also maybe an extra pair of socks because you just never know.
You know what? I always take an extra pair of socks backpacking. I like that clean pair of socks. Like I'm going to carry my weight, right? That's not a problem at all. That is fantastic. Well, I know you guys have a busy summer coming up. We've had great late snow. So we have snowpack running into the lake still today, and will be for probably a couple of months. Matter of fact, I'm going backpacking in a couple of weeks. The place I'm going backpacking, I thought it'd be clear. It has like 50 inches of snow still. I'm going,
wow.
It's going to be interesting.
I just did a hike here in South Lake the other day, and it was covered in snow. I thought
covered in snow. Yep.
I thought it would have been melted out by now, but not yet.
Yeah, it'll melt fast, but we haven't had our first 90-degree temperature day yet. So
yeah,
we're waiting for that to happen. Very good. So congratulations on 5 years on the lake. We're super
Thank you so
excited
much,
for you
Charlie.
guys. It's our 10th anniversary at Sierra Rec. So
Oh, wow,
Congrats.
congrats to you.
cool anniversaries. And we wish you guys the best summer ahead. I do hope to someday get up and ride with you guys and experience
Yes,
that.
please.
But
Yeah,
I do
please
see
do.
your boat out there is beautiful. So
We gotta get you out on the water, Charlie.
All right, we'll stay in touch. We'll get it done. My
All
wife
right,
just won't join me. She's definitely afraid of
well.
boats. She won't do it. So I'll have to be
You
a
can have a
solo.
glass of wine at Riva Grill, and we'll catch up with her.
There you go. That sounds good. Very good. But my gift to my guests and my listeners that are watching the show, I hope you've enjoyed our show today. Learned a little bit about Tahoe Blue and sailing on the Lake Tahoe. It's one of those experiences that's unique to the Sierra region here on Tahoe. So check them out. It sounds like they have charters going all day, all different levels of experiences. And Sean and Isabella, we really do appreciate your time today. And for our guests, we hope that Sierra is in your future. Tahoe is in your future. Come up and see these guys and have a great summer experience. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thanks
Charlie, for having us.
us.